How will Neo and Trinity return in the next installment of The Matrix? With the recent announcement of the fourth film in the Matrix saga, theories of what the story could be have already emerged. The last film left us with many questions, but we might have the answers that could explain how our two protagonists will return despite their fate in the Matrix Revolutions. Welcome to Matrix Explained.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
At the end of the third Matrix film, the Oracle proclaimed that we would see him again, referring to Neal, which had joined the Matrix after the death of Trinity. For many years, we've taken for granted the fact that both characters died. But what if I told you that there is a story that explains what happened to Neal and Trinity after the Matrix finale? The Matrix was meant to be a trilogy, but apart from the films, there is an anthology of short stories that were created that explain the beginnings of this universe, known as the Animatrix. If you are a fan of this franchise, you have surely seen one of these animations at some point. But there is a forgotten story that explains what happened after Revolutions, and that is The Matrix Online, an MMO video game that ran for 6 years. In this game, many incredible revelations of the story occurred. The first thing to keep in mind is that this online video game was not written by the Wachowskis, but the story of the game was influenced and approved by the creators, similar to the Animatrix stories, utilizing ideas and stories that were not used in the films, thus expanding the mythos. Perhaps some of the ideas of The Matrix Online could be used in the new Matrix movie. Not everything that we saw in the video game universe will be translated into film, but some aspects, like what became of Neo and Trinity, could be used. The Matrix Online was online for 6 years and was praised by the Matrix fanbase. Fans loved the story, so it is possible for the director, Lana Wachowski, to take ideas from it and continue the film's story with one that already is accepted by the fanbase. According to the story of Matrix Online, after the Matrix Revolutions, the body of Neo was never recovered. Morpheus believed that the Chosen One could still be alive, but neither him nor the machines knew what happened to Neo for a very long time. During the course of the game's life that lasted years, many events within the video game left clues that led players to believe that in fact Neo was still alive, but was being controlled by the machines. The machines claimed that they never recycled Neo's body. But then what happened to him? Is he alive, or is he being controlled by the machines? If he was not recycled, then what happened to his body? This is where the story of Sarah Edmonton's comes in, a mysterious woman who had woken up from a coma. You may wonder, who is Sarah Edmonton's? Just as Neo was an anagram of one, Sarah Edmonton's is an anagram of Thomas Anderson, Neo's original name. So apparently, this woman who wakes up from a coma could actually be Neo. After several missions, the player uncovers information of this woman, which is sadly not available in any online database. Unfortunately, the game was taken offline without explaining who Sarah Edmonton's was. However, this story led players to believe that Sarah Edmonton's was a codename for the Chosen One. In 2007, a signal from Morpheus was sent to Mega City, stating that Neo was alive and that the machines had him. This confirmed the suspicions that Sarah was actually Neo, who had awakened from a coma and was under the control of the machines. Neo's story would be as follows. After the Matrix Revolutions, the machines retained his body in order to resuscitate him. They kept him connected to the Matrix. Then Neo wakes up with a new name and a new life. Remember that Cypher from the first Matrix film was offered the opportunity to erase his memory and start a new life. This means that when Neo wakes up in the hospital, he may have woken up in another body, a body generated by the Matrix to make him forget who he was. Neo could wake up with no memories of his past or the Matrix, much less remember that he is being controlled by machines and living within a simulation. It could be up to one person to wake him up again. Trinity. But how can Trinity save Neo if she died in Matrix Revolutions? According to Matrix Online, the machines received a message to retrieve her body. This means that they too may have her body, or at least her brain, in their possession. There is also the possibility that Trinity is always meant to be with the Chosen One, a plan that was put into motion by the Architect. Maybe Trinity is a computer program. This could contribute to the theory that the real world is just another simulation of the Matrix. But why should Neo return? Generally, when the Chosen One is activated by the Matrix, it means that the system needs to restart. It's like when your computer is full and you must restart it before it shuts down. Neo is part of the Matrix security system, as the Architect once explained. So Neo and his friends have not been able to escape the clutches of the machines. Remember that before Neo, there were several Chosen Ones. He was part of the same plan, but maybe now things will be different. Maybe the Neo that we met in the first movie is the one who manages to stop these machines. Perhaps an even greater secret is revealed, and that is that in reality, the machines are the ones that are slaves to the humans. Clearly, this leads us to wonder what happened to Morpheus. In the Matrix Online, Morpheus was still leading the resistance and was searching for Neo. As of this video, there is no confirmation that Lawrence Fishburne, who played Morpheus, will return to the role. But if the plot of The Matrix 4 takes inspiration from the online game, Morpheus is a key piece to this story. Maybe he is the one who will remind Neo of who he was. Now, if Morpheus finds Neo and Trinity, Trinity might not be alive, because the story would then become too complicated. Maybe the machines created a digital version of Trinity that accompanies Neo. She could even be his wife, and Neo would have never noticed that he is married to a computer program. And what about Agent Smith? It is believed that he was destroyed in the Matrix Revolutions, but there is the possibility that Agent Smith may still exist. This one is capable of leaving the Matrix and possess the minds of others within it. Maybe he's been moving from mind to mind, looking to reconnect to the Matrix. It might be for this reason why Neo must be reactivated. He was the only one who defeated Smith when he lost control. So if we use story bits from The Matrix Online and add a little imagination, this new film could be about Neo waking up from a coma with no recollection of the rebellion or anything related to the Matrix. He lives a happy life, a perfect life, with the woman he loves. Then Morpheus finds them and once again attempts to reveal the truth to Neo. Only this time, Neo does not want to know the truth. Remember that Thomas Anderson was a miserable individual, and because of that, he wanted to know what the Matrix was. But if he is happy, he could choose the blue pill. Then Agent Smith returns, and this could be the catalyst that brings Neo back to the Matrix. History would repeat itself, but not really, and Neo would finally put an end to the machines. But of course, the plot of this nameless Matrix sequel could be totally different. So far, we only have what The Matrix Online has told us, and our own speculations of what we think makes the most sense of all of this. There will undoubtedly be many more theories to discuss in the future, but until then, how will Neo and Trinity return to the fold? Are they even still alive? Do you think that they will use ideas from The Matrix Online to continue the universe of the films? For Matrix Explained, please leave a like and subscribe. And thank you for visiting the Desert of the Real.